Hi there, this is Mindy Gray, and I am sharing with you my 5 personal tech goals for the fall 2021 semester. Originally, I had a little bit of trouble coming up with these goals, and I had a bunch of scattered ideas and was excited about some and not very excited about another. And a couple of them were related to this very huge life event I have going on right now, in that we are buying a house across the country, coming from California to Connecticut, and then looking to move in the spring. And so there's been a lot going on with that, as you can imagine, and I thought it might be helpful to explore more of what is out there in the world of technology that could help with that process and get me a chance to explore some things in the process. That said, my first goal was to create a Google Calendar for all of our 2 summers events, due dates, conferences, activities. And I know that that's maybe not a very exciting tech goal, but by doing it all at once, preemptively setting up every alert to go, a week in advance of deadlines and a day in advance of deadlines, being able to share that with my classmates. I knew that that was something that, although not very exciting and fun, would help to keep me sane as all of the other stresses and pressures and responsibilities of the semester filled in. And I can say that that truly has worked. We are here on December 7th. We've almost made it to the end of the semester, so you can see the events that are left on here and what is coming. And I was able to share this with several classmates. I know a couple of them have expressed that it has been helpful to them to have that as well, and hopefully that relieved a little bit of burden off of them of doing something similar. So then after that, originally I had suggested making a master moving spreadsheet for all of this, which I stand by and have started to fill in now that we have a concrete location that we are moving to and a bit more formalized of a timeline. What has been great about this is that I've really researched online of different blog posts and things that people have put up on Pinterest and all kinds of ideas that people have and how they've organized their moves. And what I've really found is that the community of military spouses has been really amazing in the amount of thought and effort that they've put into moves, and they have really often done them enough to become pros, and that includes my own mom, who was a military spouse. So by gleaning all of their expertise, I've felt a little bit better about making sure I've got a lot of ducks in a row, or at least a line to put them in. And so I found from a blog called The Homes I Have Made, she had a master spreadsheet template that she had set up, and that saved me a little bit of mental load to get all of that going. And then I've been able to edit it from there. You can see there's a couple of deadlines. The color coding was already set up to be able to show whether something is not done, in progress, or completed. And now that we are here and starting to figure out what all these to-dos are, I'm adding them to them, assigning them. I've used project management software like Asana and some of those other things before, but oftentimes you have to have a paid account to have access to all of those features. So for this, the spreadsheet has been pretty quick and easy to just get everything in one place. My third goal was to use Canva, and I've used Canva a lot for teaching. They actually have free teacher accounts, which is amazing, and just a really wonderful resource. But I'd seen all kinds of great mood boards on the internet, people designing their houses. I'm a little bit of a hobbyist interior designer. And so I wanted to give specifically their background remover tool a try, because I've had Photoshop for many years, and I've spent hours with the paintbrush trying to remove the background by hand, and it's often painstaking and time consuming. So I wanted to try their feature to put together not just an inspiration board. This isn't really using the background remover, but just gave me a chance to kind of resize everything quickly. And then I did take some actual product images here, and it was incredibly easy compared to what I've been doing with Photoshop. And so I am using a paid account. I have a free account through my school email, but I don't feel totally comfortable working on personal projects with that. So I went ahead and purchased a paid account for my personal self as well to be able to do some of these things. And along with the background remover, it's really great because you can actually link to anything you pop in here. So if there's like an inspiration picture, I can link to where I found it. If it's a specific product that I actually think might be something I want to put in a room and not just something that I like the look of, I can link to that product's website and directly to the product specification. So that's really a neat little addition as well that I hadn't explored in addition to the background remover. So then with all of those specific links, I also found this awesome tool that I had not initially had on my tech goals, but I listened to a wonderful podcast called How to Decorate. It's produced by Ballard Designs, and they're a company that sells home furnishings, but part of their mission is to educate consumers about like the principles and process of interior design. And I really think they do that. Obviously, they are a business and want to sell their product, but their desire to educate the consumer is really clear. They've run this podcast for 3 or 4 years. I've been listening since the beginning, and they interview all kinds of different interior designers, architects, other people who work in the trades. And they just genuinely want to share information. So they always talk about this tool called the Room Planner. It's powered by a company called Icovia, but I've never really had an occasion to use it. And so I wanted to try it out, and it's actually very, very great. Similar to Canva, I've used a more complex version of this tool. With Canva, I had used Photoshop for many years. And Canva is by far and away so much more user-friendly and easy. It's obviously not as powerful, but I'm not editing crazy big photo files. I just want to, do some simple things here. This Room Planner is like that. I had the chance to use a more robust, blanking on the name of it now, but it was some sort of AutoCAD software for an interior design class I took at a local community college last year. And that was a really great software. You could see 2D renderings, 3D renderings. You could change colors and specifications. You could put in different finishes. You could do multiple floors. All of that was really great, but as a not professional interior designer, it was really expensive. And this Ballard Room Planner is free, and it really gets the job done. You can put in all of the specifications of the dimensions of the room, and then for each product I have shown here that you can actually, they've just got sort of some basic product shapes, but you can change the specific dimensions of the products. You can also link on these as well, which is helpful. So when I was gathering just the visual inspiration on Canva, I could link, and then when I pulled them into here, I kept the link and was actually able to go back and find the exact dimensions. And really the purpose behind this is no, I'm not seeing a 3-dimensional sketch of it all put together, but I can block out spaces and look for clearances and ensure that everything is going to fit before I purchase anything, which makes a lot of sense to me. And just to kind of visually see, like taking some of the furniture that we have, I can model in here as well, and just get a feel for what might be a good layout for each room. So to do this, I did have the use of the pretty basic floor plans that were provided in the real estate listing, and a really wonderful 3-dimensional model that had the ability to measure on it. Although I'm not sure it was completely precise. It was probably accurate within 6 inches, which is pretty great for an internet model. But so things like needing to know exactly where the windows were and how wide the doorways were, and that level of detail was not provided. So now that we're in this space, my last goal was to use this Bluetooth laser that we have in conjunction with a 3D rendering app. And now that I've gone through this process, I actually think I probably should have pulled these apart into 2 goals, because the 3D rendering app on its own was quite a learning curve, and I haven't I haven't really figured out how to pull the Bluetooth laser in with it. So I've been using the Bluetooth laser to take measures separately, and I've been playing with this Matterport is actually the one I decided to go with, but I haven't figured out yet how to put them together. From what I can see is you can actually, I think part of it is I'm doing this on an iPhone, so my camera is not entirely precise as I'm taking these models, but in the tutorial video I watched with a 3D camera, or they actually sell like a really fancy camera that does these three-dimensional pictures that's supposed to be really accurate, and then you can use the Bluetooth measure to communicate the specific dimensions of the room to confirm that with the model. I didn't quite get there on this, but what I did do was I used my iPhone to take a 3D model of the house without everything in it. The realtor, like I said, had put up a really nice one with all the previous owner's furniture in it, but I wanted to be able to just see the rooms without anything in it. So you can kind of see that this is what it looks like. You have to do scans sort of in each room, and then as you'll see as I pan around, this is not terrible. I'm not going to use it for measurements. This is really just going to allow me to kind of see around in each space if you don't get seasick while you're watching my video, but it's pretty cool. So I am going to go through and do the second floor of this now, I think, and then I may use my version of this separate from anything where I need precision, just because with the iPhone and my personal self-turning, I didn't bring a tripod with me. It's not going to give me the precision that I would want for measurements, but I think I can kind of pull apart the 2D floor plans that I have, make those more precise with the laser measure, and then also have this just for visual reference as I'm trying to look back and recall over the next 3 to 6 months until we are able to actually be here full time. So this has been a little fun, a little overwhelming, which I think is just sort of the nature of all of the life transitions that we have going on, but I'm really intrigued by all of these different technological applications that exist, especially in like this design space. I never would have anticipated that like on my phone I could create one of these 3D models, and I have to give credit to Sarah Stevens Morling, my partner, who suggested Matterport. I had tried a couple, and this was really user-friendly, really simple, and I think with a little bit more robust tools, I could really make something pretty great here. So that was pretty amazing to see, that just without really any additional hard tools that I could do something like this. All right, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to stretch our brains a little bit in a different direction, and for a fun semester.